how I'm feeling in one word about 2026. Let's have it.
We're here at the Year Ahead event, and it's been really interesting hearing all the speakers talk about their projections for the year ahead, and there's so much going on in the market currently with, all the big consolidations, which in themselves are interesting, exciting, going to create, the new Omnicom is going to be, let's face it, the world's biggest advertising group, which in itself is exciting. And then of course at the other end of the spectrum, if you like, there's a hugely healthy industry of independence right now, and in the last year or so we've seen more independents coming to the market, we've seen more launches, and I can remember for a long time, and we've also seen lots and lots of collaboration between the independents. So there's a lot going on with things like the Alliance of Media Independents, things like that, where you actually see brilliant collaboration among different independent media agencies, and I think that is really exciting times.
In 2026, I think the biggest challenge for the business community continues to be uncertainty, and the uncertainty emanating from the White House. Because policies can change all the time, and even when you think you've got a deal, and in Britain we think we have a trade deal with America, but it's actually not really written down properly, it's not set in stone, it hasn't been signed, and there seem to be problems with negotiating the detail of it. But even if it was all written down and signed, Donald Trump can still tear it up and say actually it doesn't count anymore. So there is that volatility. If the Supreme Court strikes down some of the tariffs, then Donald Trump may try to impose them in different ways, so we could be heading for another wave of tariff uncertainty and supply chain uncertainty. So uncertainty is the big problem, both in geopolitics but also of course in technology, because I think the upsides, well, there's potentially an upside from technology. So if you can figure out how to make AI your friend and not your enemy, and some companies do seem to be able to do that, then there is a lot of opportunity.
I think one thing I would say that will differentiate the most successful agencies now as in the future is the trust they have with their clients. And I think in the general ecosystem there's a lack of trust maybe about particularly the digital ecosystem, the monetization of some of the way agencies, and some agencies are monetizing their revenues. But I think the winners will be those who really partner with their clients, understand their clients' problem, and can find ways of solving those business issues with real solutions. Definitely think there will be some upheaval and change, and I think different winners will emerge over the next few years. But I think those who've got technology at their heart, realise they're in a service business and operate with complete trust with their clients, I think those will be the winners.
I'm quite a positive guy, and around mid-year last year there was a moment where I felt, is trust enough? Is truth enough? Is all of the things that are happening, which are really impacting society in a bad way, which is being really driven by what happens in our industry and what happens from a few, is it going to continue? And that moment was actually a really important moment, not just for me, but for Channel 4 and some of our sort of peer set, because we have a responsibility, particularly at Channel 4, we answer to the government. Our remit states that we have to have the betterment and support the betterment of society. And that moment, I think, was really key for us in terms of thinking about how do we ensure that trust and truth, doing the right thing, ensuring that we're impacting society in the right way, and bringing a balance back into how media and revenues are spent and how media is consumed is going to be really key. So I really do think 2026 is going to be the year where trust and truth become not only a viable option, but a way that brands in particular can tell their stories and do it in a way which ensures that there's longevity for the society of the UK.